Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making? Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, Larry W. Brooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we had over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
No, welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, I invite you to reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, and I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in with us. If you're checking us out live on YouTube or Facebook, leave myself or the Texas Real Estate King a relevant real estate question in the comment section. And you never know, your question may very well be answered on today's broadcast. I want to take some time to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and a proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him for sitting in with us this week, just like he does every Thursday here on the Prime Real Estate Network. And I'd like to introduce to our audience, the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. How are you?
What up, Rick? Man, listen, I'm feeling good. You know, we back to back today, baby. We running the shows back to back, just exposing our database and the people that's following us to just like-minded, trustworthy individuals, man. So just being back to back doing that. And with that being said, everyone that's tapped in, make sure that you like and subscribe. It helps the YouTube algorithm. I know you hear this every time, so definitely want to continue to emphasize that because it's important for the platform. Like, share, leave us comments. You have any questions for the guests? Anything that you'd like to see us ask our future guests, make sure you leave that in the comment area, man. But I'm excited, just to be back to back with you, Rick.
No, the great thing about us being able to share not only our most trusted colleagues with our audience, but at the same time exposing them to some of the most dynamic personalities in that they'll find in a business space as far as networking. Yep. Because Larry, one of the things that I'm sure you're aware of, and you share with so many of your followers online, is that this is the season to network, to get out there, to go to those conferences, to go to those leadership summits, to get involved. Could you just share a little bit about this networking season and some of the great events that you would advise like-minded entrepreneurs to tap into and get involved in, because you're involved in so many exciting things right now?
Well, listen, the beauty of it is going into the end of July, going into August, is not only people getting ready for back to school, but as far as leaders or people that are the entrepreneur space or people that are building out their business structures, this is the time that we attend a lot of our major conferences. I'll give you an example. Speaking to a good friend of mine, Reginald Lilly, earlier today, he's actually in New Orleans right now for the Urban Houston, not Houston area, but the Urban Leagues Conference, right? And a lot of times the Urban Leagues Conference actually overlaps with the National Association of Black Real Estate Brokers Conference, or National Association of Real Estate Brokers Conference, which is actually taking place in New Orleans as well. So those things actually line up and go into it. Then shortly after that, like days after that, here in Houston, we're actually starting, I want to say it's starting August 3rd, we're having the National Sales Association Conference going to be taking place here in downtown Houston. I'm excited about that. I'm actually going to be taking part in that. I'll be helping host some of the sessions and things like that. It's in my city, so you can't be in my city and not have a Houston ambassador not participate in some of the things that's going on. So I'm excited to host and be a part of the host committee for the National Association, the National Sales Association meeting that's going to be taking place.
And I appreciate you for sharing, Larry. And the reason why I brought that up is because these events are most people's best opportunity to tap into those success stories, those thought leaders, and share best practices, things that they're seeing in other markets. Because one of the things that I've always been impressed with you, Larry, is that throughout your travels, you haven't been afraid to implement something that you've seen in another market here in the Houston market. And you don't have those opportunities unless you venture out, travel, and meet people who are of the same mind, but just in a different locale. So
definitely,
I appreciate
it's a value add. When you put it that way, Rick, it's definitely a value add.
Absolutely. And you know, that brings us to this week's guest. Yeah. Because what we pride ourselves doing here on the Prime Real Estate Network is opening up our book of contacts and allowing all the members of our audience to tap into those professionals who are knowledgeable, experienced, and reputable to help take their investments, their generational wealth, or their businesses to the next level. So Larry, could you share a little bit about this week's guest with our audience, how you were introduced, and why you're so excited to have her sit in on the show?
Definitely, Rick. So, I've had an opportunity. This week's guest, myself and her, we've followed each other online for quite some time, mainly the platform of Instagram. But what that gives you an opportunity is to see people out in the community doing the things that they need to be doing, as well as some of the things that they are doing in their business when they host different events. And so, everything from back to school events to just really educating people in the space of her businesses, everything from credit to mortgages and stuff of that matter. So just being able to see her tapped in, I wanted to reach out because I was like, this is somebody that our platform needs to be aware of, that can be trusted as she helps them, go through some of their struggles that may be taking place when it comes to their, financial aspects of things. So definitely reached out to her. It was easy. We got the date together, man. It was easy to get her on the show. So just having her being able to plug in with us today with that 100% energy that she always brings, I'm excited about it, brother.
Hey, man, without any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. This fine queen is not only a mortgage lending expert, but she is also specializes in personal finance. I would like to thank her so much for sitting in on the Prime Real Estate Network, and I'd like to introduce to our audience, Ms. Kierra Jack. How are you?
I am great. I am blessed, and I am thankful to be on this show providing some informative information to our viewers. How are you gentlemen doing today?
Oh, man, doing great. It's an honor and a pleasure, Key. Thank you so much for sitting with us.
It's a good day, Key. It's a very good day.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
can you guys see me okay?
Oh, no, you look great. Thank you so much.
All righty.
All the books you got back there, have you took an opportunity to read some of the books on that shelf back there?
I am a vicious book reader. I love reading. I love obtaining knowledge. I love it, love it, love it.
Okay. I'm at to find a way to have some of my legacy books join that shelf back there.
Come on,
figure it out.
Hey, Key, so for the members of our audience that just dialed in, that was going to meet you for the first time today during this interview, could you introduce yourself and talk to our audience about what it is that you do that helps so many of your clients build their generational wealth?
Yes, you guys. So my name is Kierra Jack. I am a business owner established in Houston, Texas, born and raised as well. And I am also a mortgage loan originator. What makes me a little bit special than your average mortgage loan originator is I do work for a federal credit union, allowing me to assist clients in all 50 states. So yes, just want to put that out there. More things that we offer within my financial firm is we specialize in credit repair to get you prepared for your pre-approval to become a homeowner. So, we just don't stop there. We also assist with personal funding outside of mortgage loans. and we do assist with business funding. So just wanted to put out there exactly what we do. So if we can be further assistance to the community, you guys know how and where to go. Because that's the thing, as a business owner, as a Black business owner, you definitely want to let the community know you're here to serve them, and you're here because they only know about, you know, certain names, popular names. So if you're not putting yourself out there, they absolutely do not know you're here to help.
You know, one of the great things about having you on the show is that members of our audience get to meet someone like you who is as passionate about service as Larry and myself.
Absolutely.
On the side of the desk where we are as real estate professionals, when we talk to our clients about protecting, creating generational wealth, it can be things like inheritances, homes that are passed down, that type of thing. And we're super passionate about making sure members of our community protect their assets from that standpoint. From the side of the desk, Key, that you sit on, when you talk to clients about the importance of not only generating wealth, but protecting it, what type of things do you talk to your clients about when you're educating them on their first consultation with you?
I'm talking about, you're gonna have me all over the place. I talk about being educational to their children first, because if you're not provided the proper education, how can you keep the structure of whatever you're embracing, whether it's inherited, whether it's you working hard and breaking the generational, being the one who's breaking the generational curses and obtaining the wealth? You have to know the knowledge to maintain it. So I definitely let my clients know about credit, how important it is in the education they need to pass down to their children. You know, adding their children as authorized users, being responsible, letting their kids, you know, have bank accounts at early ages, trust funds, you know, adding your business in your trust, adding your home in your trust, you know, things of that, a will versus a trust. So then they know maybe the proper way to go about certain things, and they have the information that they need.
No, and you know what's great about that is because when Larry and I meet those first-time buyers, those who haven't invested in real estate before, we go through a similar illustration form. And one of the things that I was most impressed with that you just mentioned is the passing this information to the children early, getting children involved early. Because one of the things that we find is that a lot of those in our community feel as if they may not need to reach out to someone like you, Key, until they're a six-figure earner or almost a seven-figure earner. Can you talk about the importance of establishing these things foundationally to set your family up, and how exponential growth is how you achieve a lot of the wealth that people hear about on social media and television?
Absolutely. And it kind of goes back to that whole saying, it only takes one risk taker. It can start with you just learning about your credit, repairing your credit, obtaining, let's say, credit cards. Now you're able to add your children on these credit cards. So before they are even graduating out of high school, and this is just something that I have done for my stepchildren, added them as authorized users. So when they are graduating college or high school, they are graduating with 700 credit scores, where they can go and obtain their first car of their desire that's reliable, something that they want, because you've taught them the financial responsibility of credit, and also, you know, how to maintain their credit if they have, if you've already opened them bank accounts, things like that. It's really honestly like training them about, you know, the responsibilities of life. With my 14-year-old, I tell her to think about her report card as her credit report. She has to turn it into me, you know, for me to see that she's turning her grades on time. Because if not, in the real world, if you don't pay your bills on time, it reflects you having late payments, and it reflects your payment history. So kind of taking things that your children are maybe dealing with now and using analogies to explain why you're maybe hard on them in regards to the importance of these small things that they're doing now that will basically generate to greatness later. So, so yeah, I think it's very important to start with your kids at home, young ages. I say about 14, start getting them active, or I'll say 11 even. So
Kierra, quick question. I hear people speak about trust, or trust something that you set up through a law firm, or is that something is this identify a different business or something like that? How does that look?
So me personally, I always go through my lawyer to get anything. When it comes to legalities, I think it's very important to have a lawyer instead of doing generic things online, because you're able to ask those questions that you don't know. I'm on the financial side, so I never pretend that I know things that may pertain to legalities that I'm not aware about. So, when you're establishing a business, and I have a two-member trucking business, it's important I have an operations agreement. I don't just go, online and I just go get a basic LLC. And if my company gets sued, there's no operating agreement to be held accountable for in court. So I think it's very important you guys reach out to a lawyer for LLC establishments, especially if it's more than one person on that LLC, for trust funds, so you're not having to go, your family's not in probate for to discuss a will, and they're not going back and forth, and it's not causing more chaos, in your life. So I think, again, it goes back to retaining that knowledge.
Makes sense.
Since I decided to make real estate my career, since I partnered with Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm, one of the things that have always been a continuous part of my business process for illustrating the importance of real estate investment for young people is the value and the importance of credit.
Absolutely.
So for those in our audience who have heard so many myths about credit repair, who are inundated with emails that may see those late night commercials that come on, what type of advice can you give the members of our audience who are in need of credit repair services or credit consultation? How can they go about finding a reputable service provider from that standpoint?
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm getting office messages. Don't have it. It's in there. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, that's fine. I understand.
No worries.
It's a Thursday. We understand work takes place, so we get it.
It's been a busy week. So I would say typically, if you don't let anybody go and fix your hair or service on your car, don't let anybody repair your credit. And I typically use the analogy of, if I'm not going to take my luxury vehicle to the dealership and get my oil changed 5 times in 1 month, why would you pay 3 different people to work on your credit? The most important thing you should be obtaining in credit repair services is knowledge. Because again, if I get your credit to a 720 and I've helped you obtain credit cards up to $15,000, if you don't know how to maintain it, you're going to be back to square one with more debt. So the most important thing that I set out, and I make these expectations very much known with my clients, is just like you have expectations of me, I have expectations of you. You must pay your bills on time. So credit repair is not a thing you just wake up in the morning and say, hey, I want to sign up for this. You have to set yourself up for credit repair. Let me start budgeting, because I may have to pay for them to pull my credit report every month, or I may have to pay for the services, because I do offer a package deal, and I also offer monthly services for people who can't afford to just pay me a lump sum. And you also want to make sure you're knowledgeable about this. So when you're signing up for something, you know how to proceed with it. You know what to look for. Okay, I see these things coming off my credit, but what are they enhancing? Okay, well, if I remove this late payment, now my payment history is increasing. That's the most important thing. Percentage in your credit is your credit history. So you want to make sure maybe they're giving you things that you can do for self, like, signing yourself up for like self-care, where you're paying yourself a loan amount and it's registered on your credit. So it's building up your payment history. It's building up your credit utilization. So it's building you up a healthy account. So you want to make sure you're getting someone who is not just there to take your money. They're not money motivated. They're purpose driven, and you're retaining the knowledge that they have, and that you need to maintain that credit.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing such a great job of illustrating such broad concepts, but then boiling it down into things that people like myself, Larry, and members of our audience can digest and utilize. So I thank you so much for your transparency. One question that I have to ask, because a lot of times, especially when I have the opportunity to interview business owners like yourself, Key, a lot of the people that you meet, when they meet you, they sometimes underrepresent the evolution that you've gone through as a businesswoman and entrepreneur. So for those in our audience that just have met you recently, that partner with you and interact, but don't know much about your background, could you share a little bit about what you did professionally before you endeavored on being an entrepreneur and a business owner?
Absolutely.
And what type of motivation did it take for you to take that plunge and transition?
Absolutely. So before I decided to become a business owner, I actually was a property manager. So at communities, so I was maintaining, I want to say $100,000 and more generate, taking their rent. So I've always been in accounting, always been in the real estate industry, so I managed single family homes. I've managed apartment communities. I've worked for ND Kalu. He's also a real estate broker and an ex-NFL player. So I used to work at Title Real Estate with Mr. ND Kalu as well. So I've always been in something that I'm passionate about. And because I did such a phenomenal job in property management and real estate, I was like, I'm just going to step out on faith and start my own company. And because I always feel like God is using me in some kind of way, because your purpose can be multiple things. So I always feel like whenever I'm doing something I love, I'm always serving. So, it's just transition from real estate to finances to real estate finances, kind of a combination in all.
Sorry about that. You remember that one that we went to that I gave you the key to go in at the Cat P? That's the one we're looking for. Right there.
There you go.
There we go.
I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's funny because a lot of times during the show, we really reference understanding that as business owners, our day is moving. Also, that we got other things going on. So just being able to multitask and get back to it is okay. That is a part of what we do. Yes.
Hey, Key, just so that you don't feel any kind of way, Larry and I always joke that Thursdays for business owners is getaway day. So look, if you not at the airport and you don't have luggage, we appreciate you for making some time to sit in, Key. So thank you so much.
Absolutely, you guys. Because I'm like, and then today I'm telling you, I'm all over the place today, but I'm always, if I commit to something, I'm showing up.
No, Key, and I wanted to ask you this too, because we appreciate you sharing that transition, what you did beforehand, because Larry and I had no idea that you served as a property manager. So you have unique experience on that side of the table that you can use to relate to real estate agents, brokers, and those people who wouldn't expect you to have that type of insider knowledge. Exactly.
That's actually how I met a lot of people, is being so familiar, because at one point in time, Airbnb was a hot commodity. So I knew all of the insight as what we're looking for approval, the whole process of everything, because I'm the inside girl of, that's looking at these applications, doing the corporate leasing that people are trying to obtain. So I definitely appreciate the interest that I have in the things that I do, because it provides me more information to be as informative as possible when it comes to different caliber of things.
Property management can be a lucrative career, and there's so many people who find their niche there and they stay. You made a transition, and I'm really curious. When you were a young lady, were there any members of your family that were business owners, entrepreneurs that might have planted a seed that when you were doing property management that you could evolve and build something and lead an organization on your own? Or did you have any mentorship from that standpoint as a young lady?
Honestly, I did not. And that is, I always call myself the black sheep turning goat in my family because I am the only business owner in my family. I kind of encourage them. They're like, everybody's not designed to be a business owner. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Whatever. But I'm like, I've started so many businesses, even as hobbies. And I'm like, hey, you want to buy an LLC? And I got the blueprint for you. And it's just not in some people. But I want to say a lot of things. I was raised by a mom, a dad, 27 years of marriage, no outside siblings, just me and my little sister. And we were very spoiled. So a lot of things I self-taught myself. And because of the way I was raised, it actually gave me the ambition that I have to want to set out getting it for my children. And so then I can show them everything that I learned last. I want them to know first. My parents believed in buying everything cash. Here it is. The world is operating off credit. Yeah. You know, so the things that I had to learn on, I definitely want to take advantage of that and set my girls up for success early. So I think it's very important what you did not know as a child. That's no excuse not to, you know, go do your own research, go do your due diligence. So then you can hand that down to your kids because, you know, you just want to give your kids the best. So.
Key, when you speaking of credit, real quick, Rick, as you speak of credit, what is your favorite credit hack? As you hear people talk about through, YouTube and all these social media platforms, what is his favorite? What is your one that sticks out to you? And you're like, well, this is my favorite credit hack to help improve your credit.
I have so many. I would say, the ability to start your kids off fresh, like as authorized users, and obtain credit cards. I mean, I get so many, gift bags. I may get a $400 gift card just for swiping my card. And I'm like, hey, I can pay my card down, go get a gift card, pay my card down. Or it's, I just feel like credit is, the sky is the limit when you start retaining that credit insight and information. But my hack I would say being an authorized user on someone else's credit that are responsible enough that to have an established credit report, so then they can kind of, you can kind of build off of them. And that's why I said it only takes one risk taker, because if you're that person, like I'm sure you guys hear about trade lines, you can be the trade line in your family. Everybody as your authorized user. Once you build that person up, you get 2 more people as an authorized user. It's like a pyramid scheme, but it's no scheme there. Little things like that. Little things that I did when I was trying to get business funding or coming up. I used to send myself invoices from my business to myself, and I would use my credit cards to pay my invoices. So my revenue looked a little bit, more than what it was actually to help me obtain business funding. So, I think just tapping into financial literacy it creates a world that you probably never thought you could obtain.
I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite credit cards for 1 year was amazing. It was the Discover credit card. Discover had a dollar-to-dollar match, meaning every dollar you spent, they match you on the back end. It was for 1 year though. Boy, I think that year I probably made about $9,000. The real number was like $5,000 off that card. That card paid me $5,000 for using it. Ain't that crazy?
That is. I mean, I bought my best friend gifts from like Saks with just my points from my Amex card. I like going to the airport. I just went to pick mine up yesterday because you get that half a year. So
that's crazy.
And that's great advice, Larry. That was a great question, because sometimes, people see so many things in their reels and their IG feed, and they don't always have an opportunity to really speak to someone or have an interview from someone like you that lets them know these things are viable versus some of the things that they hear that may be pie in the sky. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I'm sure there's going to be members of our audience that just love this interview, that's going to favorite this episode, that's going to utilize some of your credit hacks that you just mentioned with Larry. When will there be an opportunity in the near future for the members of the Prime Real Estate Network audience to meet, greet, and interact with Miss Kierra Jack?
Yes, I will be hosting a back to school event August the 3rd in the Katy area. So it is on my Instagram, which is K.K.professionals, and that is plural, not singular. They are more than welcome to contact me by email. It's info@kkprofessionals.com, plural, not singular. Or they are more than welcome to call our office, 281-617-2015. And I'm doing something very special October. I will be posting about it, so please go visit our Instagram. But in October, I will be speaking on a domestic violence platform, just shining light on not physical abuse, because I've never experienced that, but more of emotional, mental abuse that you may experience in an unhealthy relationship that I want to bring to light. So you can definitely, join in on those amazing events. So
No, I thank you so much. The information, the transparency, the education that you've shared with our audience is invaluable. I'm sure there's going to be so many tidbits and jewels from this conversation that they can implement and put themselves on a trajectory to actually be wealthy in the most wealthy country on the planet Earth. So thank you so much for sharing that.
yes.
Please, go ahead, Keith. Please share your contact info, because I want everyone in the audience to be able to link in with you.
Yes, and before we leave, I just wanted you guys to know that this week our rates for mortgage loans are a little bit over 6%. So they have some really great percentages out here for interest. I just got my client approved for $250,000, zero down, through Navy Federal. So there is all type of financial gains with watching these YouTube videos, and also just following us three individuals on this live. My contact information again is K.K.professionals on Instagram. We also have a YouTube as well, Facebook, KK Professionals, and it's always plural, not singular. So feel free to contact us in regards to the services that we do provide to the community.
Sounds good.
Man, that's outstanding. Well, you always have a seat here with Larry and myself, Key. Please keep us up to date on everything that's going on in your life, in your professional life. Anything that you have going on, we would love to support. And your event that's coming up in Katy, please let me know. Keep me, because I live in and around that area. I would love to be a part of the event, and I definitely like to represent for you. So appreciate you so much for being with us this week.
Thank you guys for having me today.
Thank you so
much. Jack.
Have a great Thursday, Key. Appreciate
y'all
it.
as well. Get away Thursday.
That boy right there. So,
come on, man, Larry. Financial professionals aren't supposed to be that fun during live interviews, man. Having Miss Kierra Jack on, man, was great for the spirit. I hope everyone in our audience could take in all those positive vibes that you and myself were able to enjoy for the last half an hour, bro.
Yeah.
It's
been good, man. Listen, before we get off, I do want to again give another shout out to HAR, as well as the Big E conference that we have coming up. It's going to be October 17th this year, but I want to let everyone out there know that we are actually going to be launching the website so you can purchase your discounted tickets, your early bird tickets. Because the thing is, this thing sells out every single year. I'm not playing with you. Like literally every year it sells out. So it's important that you get your stuff. But we're going to be going live on August 1st. Again, for those of you that are licensees, those of you that are looking for, great networking opportunities to be around like-minded professionals, that here's one thing that I like to tell when it comes to like-minded professionals. We interchange business. Sometimes you have realtors that don't go inside the loop. They refer that business to another realtor. There's people that don't go to Galveston, don't do Katy, don't do Kingwood. They refer that business. That's why it's important to network. Not only that, but going into the new journey of what our real estate licensees and careers are going to look like, it's more important to know someone that you're going to be picking up the phone call and say, hey, I'm about to show you a listing. Let's discuss this number. Let's discuss that. It's going to be easier for them to pick up the phone and have that conversation or respond to that email when they can put a face with a name, a face with a number that's going to be coming across their phone. So it is important that you go out and you network and associate yourself with other licensees, other like-minded real estate professionals. So this Big E conference is about to get ready to take place. You don't want to miss it. You want to be there. Everything from learning new AI prompts to understanding what's coming down the line when it comes to your Airbnbs or your air arbitrage. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the legalities that's taking place with our licenses. But for the most part, it's going to be beautiful. Every year this conference sells out. And so be ready. I'll have the website and everything for you in the near future. But we're going to be going live on August 1st. Don't waste your time getting your tickets. Follow me at Texas Real Estate King on IG. Definitely follow our the YouTube page. Share this, like this, leave comments. If it's something that you want more information on, leave that question below and we'll get that information to you.
Hey, look, man, I want to make sure I follow up with what you're saying, Larry. It's super important. The Engage Conference. Follow the Texas Real Estate King on IG. When he shares the website, go in, be there, don't be square. Let's get after it, man. This 2024 leading into 2025 can change lives.
Yes, indeed.
So, appreciate you, brother, man. On behalf of myself, Ric Davis, this is the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks. Hey, I want to thank everyone in the audience. If you need us between now and next Thursday, we just a text, email, DM away. Until next Thursday, everyone in the Prime Real Estate Network audience, please be safe and be blessed.
Be blessed.